I'm sleeping and I hear this bzzz. Hi, my name is Esther. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and if you are not new and you're a subscriber, hey bestie. Let's get right into it. So today's story time is going to be the most embarrassing moment of my life. And guys, please make sure you like and subscribe, because today I will be reaching into my repressed, blocked, most embarrassing moments and memories and just like laying it all out today. So comment what your embarrassing moment is, or like if you had a similar situation, please. That will help me feel so much better. 8th grade, I dyed my hair. And for those of you who do not know me or do not know me well, I am Nigerian mother, Nigerian father. So dyeing my hair was a no-no. When I was in 8th grade, I forget how old I was, probably like, it was right before high school, so maybe 13-ish. Yeah, so when I was 13 in 8th grade, I dyed my hair. And it was like a sort of reddish color. But yeah, I dyed it. It wasn't like a full thing. It was more like sort of like highlights, like a highlight situation going on. I did a horrible job. I did not know what I was doing, but it was like semi-permanent. It wasn't like permanent. It wasn't bleach or anything. It was literally like red paint on my hands and my hair. Like I just like went in and did whatever. I went to school the next day. I got made fun of in the hallway, like on our way to another class. So there was a bunch of people around, and I remember these two mean girls. They were in the halls, and one of them had said something like, "Oh, I like your hair," and then her friend was like, "She's lying," and they both just started kikiing and walking away like they did something. But I remember in the moment, I was just kind of like, I used to be very sensitive and very insecure, very self-conscious. So them saying that in front of like a lot of people, looking back, I was like, bitch, like you thought you ate. But back then I was like, you know, I was really sad. I remember like that morning I had a really rough day, because when my mom found out that I had dyed my hair, like she was really upset. Yeah, she was really upset, and she expressed her disapproval, her disappointment, and her frustration and her anger. I went to school crying that day, and thankfully I had my best friend. I kind of like explained the situation to my best friend. You know, she hugged me, made me feel better. And I was walking with another one of my friends when this happened. So we were in the hall and I was walking with one of my friends. Yeah, fast forward maybe a day or two later, my hair, the top half was in a bun, the rest was down. I'm sleeping and I hear this bzzz and feel like something on my face. I wake up and see my dad with the clipper like in my face, and the bun that I had was on the floor. I like shot up, like I was sleeping, I wake up and I'm just like, what the hell? This is not the most embarrassing part, like just bear with me. My bun was on the floor, I shot up, my mom was there, and they were like insistent, like they're gonna cut my hair, because my mom was like, you need to wash that hair dye out. And I washed it out, but it didn't fully come out because it was semi-permanent, so it would take a bit. They were like, we're gonna cut your hair, and they had already chopped off the thing. I tried to like escape the room, but my mom kind of like locked and guarded the door, and my dad sort of pushed me into the bathroom and made me sit down and just shaved the rest of my hair, like all of it. Wow, oh my God, like I'm saying it, but like I don't have memory of him actually, like I remember him shaving the bun, but I don't have memory of him actually shaving like the rest of my hair. I know it happened, obviously, because like I can tell you that it happened, but I don't have memory of like me sitting down and him just shaving the rest. But oh my God, no, I did not want to cry. This story is taking a while. It's because I'm trying to give you backstory. Yeah, so my dad ended up shaving all of my hair. Thankfully, it wasn't like bald, like, cause I've been bald. He also shaved my hair when I was in 1st grade, cause I used to have dreads. So he shaved off my dreads and I was bald. Another horrible, wow, this is like really bringing up a lot of like memories. But I really, okay, I just want to get through this. I don't want to cry. But yeah, so damn. I'm really getting emotional. A buzz cut, and I think immediately after, once it was done, I was just like, I kind of skipped denial and I was straight in like shock and acceptance. Like at the same time, I was like, I can't believe my hair is gone. And also like, okay, my hair is gone. Now let's get into the most embarrassing, because that was not the most embarrassing part. That was probably, honestly, I wouldn't even say that's the worst part of my life. I'm not gonna lie. It's not even, I would say maybe top 10. So fast forward, that was like on Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. So I had like, you know, a day or two before going to school to kind of prep. And I was kind of digging the hair. I was kind of digging it. And I was kind of like showing off. Monday, when I went back to school, I just decided I was gonna wear a wig to school. And I wore a wig, and I only told my closest friends what had happened. So it wasn't like I was popular, so it wasn't like people were like checking for me like, oh, why is she wearing a wig? But like people did know me sort of within the school. Told my friends like what had happened. Those people were not my friends. They were not my friends, but you know, whatever. You live and you learn. In 7th period, because the whole day I wear the wig, in 7th period I was just like, I was done with it, so I just took off the wig. And so my whole 7th period, they knew that like what was going on with the hair situation. The guy who I will mention later, he was in my 7th period. So another guy in my 7th period who I believe he had alopecia, and I remember like him, and he was one of like the popular like jocks. He was in like basketball or something. He looked at me and he was like, you don't need it. And that meant a lot to me. 7th period, I would always take the wig off because I felt comfortable in that class, and it was the last class. But yeah, the next day in the cafeteria, one of the people who was in my 7th period and also in my friend group, all day people had been like messing with me about like snatching my wig and doing all this stuff, and I was sort of like the butt of the joke, obviously. And I sort of just like, because not like I could be like, no guys, don't do that, don't snatch my wig, you know. They just kept like poking fun at me and saying they were gonna snatch it, all this stuff. And I was like stop, like actually don't. We finally got to the cafeteria, and I remember just like sitting, eating, talking, whatever, and then all of a sudden, snatched. Wig snatched in front of the whole cafeteria. And I think everyone, like no exaggeration, I think everyone did go silent for a bit. The guy, he ran, like he snatched my wig and he just ran. And I was in shock. Like honestly, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to react. It was just like, I remember I had like a jacket or my shirt and I was like covering my head, and I just was like this, you know, on the thing. And my friends were laughing. I think maybe one or two were like kind of like trying to cover me, but they were also laughing. Like literally everyone was laughing. Thankfully it was towards the end of lunch, so I remember I got up, I went to the bathroom, and I was crying. I was so angry, but I was crying, and I couldn't even find him. And I was like, where is he, where is he? Because I wanted to strangle him. But I was just so upset, and just like I was humiliated, honestly. That's the word. I was so embarrassed. I was humiliated. The only reason I was wearing the wig is because, first of all, not everyone knew that my hair had been cut, and second, I felt ugly. I felt ugly without my hair. I felt like I looked like a boy. It was embarrassing. And I didn't want to also have to keep explaining like, oh yeah, my dad shaved my hair in my sleep because I dyed it, you know? Somehow I got the wig back. I don't even remember. He probably like, I think he threw it on the floor or something, and one of my friends picked it up. But the next day when I came to school, I didn't have a wig. People looked at me, people were staring, everyone knew what had happened. but on Snapchat, I sort of made a joke about me getting my wig snatched just because humor is how I cope with things. Next day, I didn't wear the wig because, like I said, the jig was up. And yeah, I got stares, whatever, but it blew over within a few days and I was good. I didn't talk to that person like ever again. He got so much, like, he got so much clout off of it though. Like, people were like, you know, people were like talking about him and me and like, I don't know, being like, oh, like just saying like shit to him. And there was even a bet because people knew that I was like athletic. So there was even a bet that I was gonna beat him up when I saw him, like an actual, you know, the situation going on, because we had the same seventh period, which I didn't realize until after. And when I realized it, it was like the next day. I realized, I was like, oh my fucking god, it was you. You're literally in my seventh period. And he has to go to the bathroom. I asked to go to the bathroom. I did want to beat him up, but now, like, it doesn't have any lasting effects in my opinion. Like, I'm good. I think I'm more so traumatized about like the way my hair was cut more than me getting my wig snatched in a cafeteria full of middle schoolers. The bright side is that my hair was really damaged at the time, and since him cutting it, I've been like growing my natural hair, and my hair has grown longer than it was at the time, and it's much healthier now. Because I was like perming my hair, straightening it, just like not really taking care of it. And even now, I'm not doing the best job, but my hair is in a much better state now than it was before he cut it. So I'm thankful for that, because I personally never would have elected for a big chop, so he kind of made that decision for me. But yeah, that's just me looking on the bright side, and it does have, you know, a positive side, positive outcome. Shit happens, you learn from it, you grow from it. My hair has grown from it. So yeah, moral of the story, don't be an asshole.